You may be familiar with the concept of an alter ego already, perhaps from superhero films or comics. Characters like Peter Parker and Miles Morales become Spider-Man, Batman becomes Bruce Wayne. But with these examples rooting themselves in the fantastical, it can be easy to overlook the fact that alter egos have practical, real-world applications. The working definitions of the term are actually rather broad. As per the Webster's New College Dictionary 3rd edition, an alter ego is, quote, another aspect of one's personality. Or, if we consider the intriguing second definition, it's, quote, an intimate friend or constant companion. If you have been struggling to get ahead in one or more areas of your life, understanding these definitions and how to create a new alter ego might be the key to your success. Now, I'm not necessarily encouraging you to wear a mask and climb walls in the dead of night, and discussions over what exactly differentiates an alter ego from the original, even with a character like Spider-Man. For instance, who is the alter ego, Peter or the web-slinger, could go on for a long time, but different real-world sources have noted the practicality of the alter ego concept. For example, in experiments that the BBC describes in their article, The Batman Effect, How Having an Alter Ego Empowers You, people who were able to approach nerve-wracking situations, such as public speaking, while thinking of themselves as if they were a separate entity rather than the more immersive first person, felt more confidence, less anxiety, and performed better than usual. The article calls this self-distancing and notes that the creation of an alter ego is an extreme form of it. However, the article illustrates a functional difference between self-distancing and alter egos in describing an experiment in which the research group tasked children with a menial activity but gave them the option for a fun activity. One group of children approached the task pretending to be characters from popular culture that they admired. Another group used self-distancing, and the third group acted as normal. The group that approached the task as their favorite characters did the menial task 23% more often than the group who didn't change anything about their mindsets, compared with the self-distancing group who did the menial task only 13% more. What this article might be revealing, in a way, is that while both self-distancing and alter egos can help us overcome mental barriers like anxiety relating to a task, alter egos are also useful for behavioral changes. When we know we need to do something we simply don't want to do because it's tedious, complex, or, in Spider-Man's case, aligns with personal values of what's right. Another popular use of the alter ego is in situations that involve fear and pain, many of which are random, but some careers revolve around overcoming these feelings. An article that Boxrope published in 2023 explains that alter egos are useful in boxing competition because, quote, fighters can tap into untapped reserves of confidence, overcome fear, and enter a state of heightened focus and performance. This article notes a few of the boxers who have reaped the benefits of alter egos in the ring, including Sugar Ray Leonard and Deontay Wilder. But a particularly notorious example of alter ego use in boxing is Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson actually once described the process of becoming Iron Mike before each match, saying that he's, quote, scared to death of his opponent even during his training, but uses the walk towards the ring to become more confident and firm in his belief that no one could beat him. In his initial creation of Iron Mike, Tyson rejected any personal characteristics that didn't serve him and focused on exaggerating his aggressive traits into an entirely new character that would be able to perform in a way consistent with his training, without the sloppiness that fear can cause. Now you might be saying, Imp, I'm not a fighter, so your examples are too narrow and alter egos are irrelevant for the everyman. Not true. Many people find it scary to ask someone out or give presentations. But what if it's possible for a particular pair of glasses to force you to emulate all of the good conversational skills you picked up passively, or actively, from TV, movies, and books to score that date? What if, while walking to the podium to deliver your speech, you channel Abraham Lincoln and keep all fears and unrelated thoughts from surfacing until after the final word? Or, another part of life with which many struggle is procrastination. Maybe with the use of an alter ego, one can successfully bury their reservations. about working, and even enter a flow state. You may have heard people tout authenticity as an important value. Be yourself, as they say, and are thinking that the creation of an alter ego conflicts with that they are, by nature, fake. This is not true, as, when we go back to the definition of the term, we can see that the creation of an alter ego involves focusing on and presenting aspects of yourself that are true. The main difference between using an alter ego and not using one is that when you are fully yourself, you have multiple aspects that, in certain situations, might conflict with each other. One aspect of you might want to speak up with your acquaintances who are talking at the library about combat sports or something, but another aspect, the one that's afraid to do so because someone shouted at you once for doing something similar in class 12 years ago, might keep you from doing so. In this situation, a more sociable alter ego would bring the social aspect forward and keep the fearful aspect buried where it belongs. One can be authentic without sharing every aspect of themselves. In fact, one could argue that if you base an alter ego off of an aspect of self that you truly don't possess, you won't be able to pull it off. Now that we've gotten the why out of the way, let's consider the how. The first and perhaps most important step in creating an alter ego is to decide which problem, or problems, you are trying to solve by using one. If you're a professional fighter, for instance, you will be using the alter ego to overcome the natural fear of pain and injury when facing an opponent in the ring. If you want to make more friends but get anxious at the idea of making verbal mistakes or the other person seeing you as boring, then the alter ego's purpose is to put that paralyzing anxiety in the background. After all, if you do mess up in your interactions, why should you feel bad about it when it wasn't even you talking in the first place? In some cases, it might be a good idea to create multiple alter egos to fulfill different needs that conflict with each other. One that you've designed to be sociable might not work for your other need to stay focused and productive at work, particularly if you have people all around. The second step, once you know why you are creating one or more, is to determine what kinds of characteristics and behaviors will help you surpass your problems and create your alter ego around them. You might be thinking, Imp, if I knew what the solution was, I would already have solved my problems. Not necessarily. We usually know what we need to do and where our weaknesses and strengths lie, but what gets in the way of surpassing our weaknesses is often fear, negative self-talk, the tediousness of the grind, and plenty of other things that we make up in our minds. And yes, putting in the work to produce positive change is hard. You may consider yourself too weak for it, but your alter ego, fortunately, is not. Create your new self around the traits that you would like to embody to succeed. The final step is to understand how best to transform into your alter ego, a reliable way to bring the traits that you want to show to the surface, just like the walk to the ring that Mike Tyson described. There are many possibilities here, and sometimes it's best to go with something simple that you know is going to work. This could be a piece of clothing, such as a pair of sunglasses, an entire outfit, or even a simple facial change. For example, I recently discovered that, while at work, I can activate a more sociable persona if I keep my eyebrows raised. The lowered eyebrow version of me is reclusive and focused, and that's okay. Accepting your true self's shortcomings is an important part of making this work. But when I raise my eyebrows, my mind clears and I can speak with coworkers more. It might also be helpful to decide on a name for your alter ego to further solidify its existence. If you plan on introducing yourself a lot and you're in a situation in which you must use your actual name, such as in a professional environment, then you could give your alter ego a variation of your own name. If you usually go by Steve, you could use Steven, for example. This is a personal process. Not just the transformation part, but all of it. And you may need to keep tweaking it just a bit to see what works best for you before you put your alter ego into action. I hope that this video was informative and helped you understand why alter egos are useful in a variety of situations where our true selves' shortcomings would sabotage us. Sometimes professionals use them and they might be the answer to some of your problems, especially if you put a lot of intentional thought behind why you're creating one and how it will present itself. But what did you think about this video? Please like, comment, and subscribe if you found it useful, and, as always, I appreciate any feedback. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.